A young boy, no older than 7, sat alone on the swings in the park. The vibrant laughter of children playing tag echoed around him, but he remained motionless, his gaze fixed on the worn tire beneath him. He clutched a small red balloon, its string tangled in his small fist, mirroring the knot of loneliness tightening within him. His parents were busy chatting with other adults at a nearby picnic table, their voices distant and muffled. This isn't an isolated incident. It's a story repeated countless times across playgrounds, classrooms, and even bustling city streets. The human need for connection is fundamental, ingrained in our very being. We are social creatures, wired to seek out relationships, to feel a sense of belonging. Yet, in a world increasingly dominated by technology and superficial interactions, this innate yearning often goes unfulfilled. Building on this, we find ourselves facing a growing epidemic: loneliness. It's not simply a feeling of sadness or solitude. It's a profound state of disconnection, a lack of meaningful bonds with others. This isolation can have devastating consequences for our well-being, impacting everything from our mental and physical health to our overall happiness and life satisfaction. This leads us to the crux of the problem. Many people are struggling to build authentic, lasting relationships. In an era where instant gratification reigns supreme, fostering genuine connection can feel like a daunting task. We're bombarded with fleeting online interactions, superficial connections fueled by likes and shares. These digital encounters offer a semblance of belonging but rarely satisfy our deep-seated need for human intimacy. However, the quest for meaningful relationships is not a lost cause. It requires conscious effort, intentional engagement, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. We must learn to cultivate empathy, active listening, and vulnerability qualities that pave the way for genuine connection. The yearning for belonging isn't a weakness. It's a testament to our innate human nature. It's a reminder that we are not meant to exist in isolation, but rather as interconnected members of a larger whole. Just like the boy on the swings, so many of us yearn for a sense of connection, a place where we truly feel seen, heard, and valued. The yearning for belonging isn't just a passing feeling. It's deeply rooted in our psychology. It stems from a primal need, hardwired into our very being, that compels us to seek connection and community. Understanding this requires delving into the depths of human consciousness, exploring the theories of giants like Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud. Jung believed in the concept of the collective unconscious, a universal reservoir of shared archetypes and instincts that transcend individual experiences. He posited that our innate desire for belonging is fueled by the archetype of the community, a fundamental human need to be part of something larger than ourselves. This yearning, according to Jung, stems from a subconscious longing to feel safe, accepted, and supported within a group. Freud, on the other hand, focused on the role of early childhood experiences in shaping our psychological development. He proposed that infants are driven by a primal need for love and security, which they seek through attachment to their caregivers. This initial bond, he argued, lays the foundation for all future relationships. When this need for security is not met, it can lead to feelings of loneliness, isolation, and a persistent yearning for connection throughout life. Building on these theories, we can see that the desire for belonging isn't simply a social construct. It's a fundamental human drive that originates from our biological and psychological makeup. It's a longing for safety, acceptance, and validation, a need to feel connected to something beyond ourselves. This yearning manifests itself in various ways throughout our lives, from our early childhood friendships to our adult romantic relationships, from our involvement in community groups to our pursuit of shared interests and hobbies. However, the modern world presents unique challenges to this innate desire for connection. The rise of social media, while offering a platform for virtual interaction, often fosters superficial connections that lack the depth and intimacy we crave. This can lead to a sense of disconnection, even when surrounded by countless digital friends. The constant bombardment of curated online personas can also create unrealistic expectations and comparisons, further fueling feelings of inadequacy and isolation. It's easy to get caught in the trap of seeking validation through likes, shares, and follower counts, mistaking these fleeting interactions for genuine connection. This paradox highlights the importance of recognizing the limitations of digital interaction and actively cultivating meaningful relationships in the real world. It requires conscious effort, intentional engagement, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. We must learn to cultivate empathy, active listening, and vulnerability qualities that pave the way for genuine connection. The path to building meaningful relationships begins with self-awareness. Understanding our own needs, insecurities, and desires is crucial for navigating the complexities of human interaction. It's about recognizing that we each have a unique story to tell, a set of experiences that shapes who we are and how we connect with others. This journey involves embracing vulnerability, allowing ourselves to be seen and known by others in a way that transcends superficial interactions. It means sharing our thoughts, feelings, and experiences authentically, even when it feels uncomfortable. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the foundation of trust and intimacy. Active listening is another crucial element. Truly hearing what others have to say, without judgment or interruption, creates a space of safety and understanding. It demonstrates respect and empathy, fostering a deeper connection based on mutual communication and shared experiences. Finally, remember that building meaningful relationships takes time and effort. There are no quick fixes or shortcuts. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to invest in nurturing connections over the long haul. It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to invest in nurturing connections over the long haul. But what are the underlying principles guiding this endeavor? What philosophical framework can illuminate the path towards meaningful connection? Building on this understanding of vulnerability, active listening, and sustained effort, we turn to the wisdom of ancient philosophers who grappled with these very questions. Imagine Seneca, a Stoic philosopher from Roman antiquity, observing the human condition. He might say that true connection stems not from fleeting emotions or superficial pleasantries, but from shared values and a common purpose. He would emphasize the importance of self-mastery, knowing oneself deeply, understanding one's own strengths and weaknesses, as essential for building authentic relationships. For Seneca, meaningful connections are forged through acts of virtue, compassion, empathy, and a genuine desire to contribute to the well-being of others. These virtues, he believed, transcend individual desires and create a sense of unity and shared purpose. Now, shift your perspective to Friedrich Nietzsche, the 19th century German philosopher who challenged conventional morality and embraced the power of individuality. He might argue that genuine connection arises not from conformity or societal expectations, but from recognizing and celebrating the unique essence of each individual. Nietzsche would emphasize the importance of self-expression and authenticity, urging us to shed societal masks and embrace our true selves, flaws and all. He believed that meaningful relationships are forged through a kind of creative confrontation, a dynamic exchange where individuals challenge and inspire one another to grow and evolve. This requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to engage in honest and sometimes uncomfortable conversations. However, both Seneca and Nietzsche would likely agree on the importance of recognizing the limitations of human connection. They understood that relationships are inherently complex and often fraught with challenges. Seneca, grounded in Stoicism, might remind us that we must accept the impermanence of life and cultivate resilience in the face of loss or disappointment. Nietzsche, with his emphasis on individual responsibility, would encourage us to take ownership of our emotional experiences and not seek solace solely in external connections. True fulfillment, he argued, comes from cultivating inner strength and forging a unique path in life, even if it means navigating loneliness at times. This leads us to a crucial shift in perspective. Meaningful relationships are not merely about seeking comfort, companionship, or validation. They are about engaging in a profound human experience, one that requires vulnerability, authenticity, active listening, and a willingness to grow both individually and collectively. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human emotions: joy, sorrow, anger, fear, and navigating these complexities with compassion and understanding. It's about recognizing that true connection transcends superficial interactions and delves into the depths of our shared humanity. We are not simply isolated individuals seeking momentary solace. We are interconnected beings yearning for meaning and belonging. By embracing this truth and actively cultivating meaningful connections, we contribute to the tapestry of human experience, enriching both our own lives and the world around us. By embracing this truth and actively cultivating meaningful connections, we contribute to the tapestry of human experience, enriching both our own lives and the world around us. But how do we actually weave these threads of connection into the fabric of our daily lives? Building on this understanding, let's delve into practical steps you can take today to foster more meaningful relationships. Remember, it's not about grand gestures, but rather consistent, intentional efforts that cultivate genuine intimacy. Firstly, cultivate active listening. It's easy to fall into the trap of formulating our responses while someone is speaking, but truly hearing another person requires full presence. Put aside distractions. Maintain eye contact and focus on understanding their words, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Ask clarifying questions, reflect back what you hear, and demonstrate empathy through your body language. Active listening shows respect, fosters trust, and creates a space where both parties feel heard and valued. However, active listening is only one part of the equation. Be authentically present in your interactions. Let go of the need to impress or project an image. Share your genuine thoughts and feelings, even if they are vulnerable. Be open about your struggles and celebrate your triumphs. Authenticity breeds trust and connection because it invites others to do the same. This leads us to practice vulnerability. Sharing our deepest fears, hopes, and dreams can be daunting, but it's precisely in these moments of vulnerability that we forge the strongest bonds. Vulnerability allows for deeper understanding, fosters empathy, and creates a space where imperfections are embraced rather than hidden. Remember, vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage. Furthermore, make time for meaningful conversations. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to prioritize superficial interactions over deep connections. Carve out dedicated time for meaningful conversations with loved ones. Put away your phones, turn off the distractions, and engage in heartfelt discussions about life, dreams, values, and challenges. These conversations nourish the soul and strengthen the bonds of love and friendship. Don't underestimate the power of small gestures. A handwritten note, a thoughtful gift, A simple act of kindness, these seemingly insignificant gestures can speak volumes about your care and concern for others. They show that you're paying attention, that you value their presence in your life, and that you're willing to go the extra mile to make them feel loved and appreciated. Remember, building meaningful relationships is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs. Be patient with yourself and others. Celebrate the small victories, and never underestimate the transformative power of genuine human connection. Remember, the threads of connection we weave throughout our lives form the very fabric of our existence. They give us purpose, joy, and a sense of belonging that transcends the individual self. Building on this understanding, let us contemplate the ripple effect of these meaningful connections. Each act of kindness, each heartfelt conversation, each moment of genuine empathy they radiate outward, touching countless lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. Imagine a single pebble dropped into a still pond. Its impact creates ripples that spread far beyond its initial point of contact. Similarly, our interactions with others can set off a chain reaction of positive change. A compassionate word shared with a stranger might brighten their day and inspire them to extend the same kindness to someone else. A supportive friend listening patiently to another's woes could empower them to find strength and resilience they didn't know they possessed. However, this isn't a passive process. It requires conscious effort, intentionality, and a willingness to be vulnerable. We must actively seek out opportunities to connect with others, to listen with our hearts as much as our ears, and to offer support without expecting anything in return. This can be challenging, especially in a world that often prioritizes self-interest and superficial interactions. This leads us to the heart of the matter. Cultivating meaningful relationships is an act of courage. It takes bravery to expose our vulnerabilities, to share our dreams and fears, and to allow ourselves to be truly seen and known by others. But it is in these moments of vulnerability that we find the deepest connection and meaning in life. Think about the people who have had a profound impact on your life. They are likely those who have walked alongside you through both sunshine and storms, who have celebrated your victories and offered solace in your darkest moments. These individuals have dared to be fully present with you, to see beyond the masks we often wear, and to love us unconditionally, even when it's difficult. So let us embrace this call to greatness, not by striving for fame or fortune, but by cultivating deep and meaningful connections with others. Let us become weavers of love, compassion, and understanding, creating a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. Let each interaction be an opportunity to make a difference, to leave a positive mark on the lives we touch. Imagine a world where every conversation is infused with kindness, where every gesture carries weight, where every encounter has the potential to transform not only our own lives, but also the lives of those around us. This is the world we can create together. Start today. Reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Offer a helping hand to a stranger in need. Share your story with an open heart. Let your love and compassion be a beacon of light in this world. You have the power to make a difference. You have the power to build meaningful relationships that will enrich your life and the lives of others. Embrace this responsibility, and together, let us weave a tapestry of connection that spans generations and leaves an enduring legacy of love and understanding.